You are not going to believe this, but the streets are talking and the whispers are getting louder. Apparently, Blu Cantrell and Jay-Z might have a secret child together. Yes, you heard that right. And guess who allegedly made sure the world never found out? Beyoncé. Now let's rewind a bit because this story goes way deeper than we thought. Word is, when Blu and Jay were a thing in the early 2000s, it wasn't just a fling. The rumor mill says that Blu actually had a baby with Jay, a whole child. But instead of that news making headlines, Beyoncé allegedly swooped in and covered everything up. Completely. But wait, it gets wilder. Sources claim this secret child is still being hidden from the public, not because it just slipped through the cracks, but because Beyoncé made it very clear that there'd be serious consequences if Blu ever opened her mouth. Now here's the real tea. Is this just some wild gossip, or did Blu actually get silenced? And if she did, what does that say about Jay-Z? Let's break this down because the dots, they are connecting. Back when Jay-Z and Beyoncé were just starting out, remember that? Power couple on the rise, there were already rumors that Jay was still cozy with Blu. At the time, most folks brushed it off, just another messy celebrity rumor. But lately, this story has been heating up again, and now it's sounding a lot more serious. Some insiders now claim that Blu didn't just have a thing with Jay, she got pregnant. Yeah, and once Beyoncé found out, boom. Allegedly, things got handled real fast. Blu was pressured into hiding the whole thing, and the child was kept in total secrecy to avoid scandal. But hold on, this isn't just about a pregnancy. Blu reportedly kept the baby, and that changes everything. If this is true, Jay-Z might have more hidden kids than we ever imagined. It's like a plot twist straight out of a soap opera. And what happened to Blu's career after that? Remember how she was everywhere for a hot second, and then poof, gone? Now people are saying her whole career was intentionally shut down. Not just faded, buried. Supposedly, Beyoncé made sure Blu paid the price for messing with her man. That oops, hit-em-up style energy, gone. Think about it. 1 minute, she's got a hit song and all eyes on her. Next thing we know, she's vanished. Fans are now looking back like, wait a minute, did Blu disappear because of that secret love child? As wild as it sounds, longtime fans had already picked up on something weird between Blu and Jay-Z back in the day, like way back, late 90s vibes. They were close. Too close. Blu was still coming up, singing background for stars like Diddy. That's how she met Jay. And the chemistry? Electric. People noticed. But here's where it gets messy. At the same time Jay was getting serious with Beyoncé, he was still hanging out with Blu, in ways that didn't scream just friends. Now remember, Jay had just gone through it emotionally after things ended with Aaliyah. So when Beyoncé came into the picture, he wasn't trying to put all his feelings in one basket. That's where Blu came in. According to sources, Jay kept her around on purpose, like a backup plan. And honestly, that makes a lot of sense, especially with how close they stayed. But the kicker? He kept the game going even after things started heating up with Beyoncé. So when Blu kept saying nothing's going on, people were not buying it, especially with Beyoncé in the mix. Blu tried to stay out of the drama, at least publicly. No one wants to be known as the third wheel. But her body language, the way she and Jay looked together, it said something different. Then came the Wendy Williams interview, and that's when things spiraled out of control. You know how Wendy gets. No filter, no shame. She went there. She asked Blu, straight up, if there was anything going on with Jay-Z. And Blu? Oh, she laughed it off, shrugged, tried to play it cool.
You know what? I am used to talking to other female artists who perhaps don't have that same eye.
You know what? And I don't knock it, because my mother did it.
Have you ever kissed Jay-Z romantically?
No. No, I can't answer that. I can't answer that. Why do people not want to let the Jay-Z Blu Cantrell thing go?
But let's be real, that was probably the worst move. She could have shut it down completely. She could have turned the tables on Wendy. She could have taken the high road. Instead, she giggled, shrugged. And that little move, it fueled the rumors. And it didn't stop there. Wendy dropped a bombshell theory. She said maybe Jay picked Beyoncé because she was young, easier to control, a softer mold. Now most celebs would swerve that question, not Blu. Oh no, she leaned in. She basically confirmed it. Said age didn't matter, said Jay didn't want an equal, he wanted someone he could shape, and that's exactly what he found in Beyoncé.
Radio that I didn't think it would last though.
What, me and him?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you're about 25.
Why, he needs somebody younger than that?
At the end of the day, yeah.
Why do you say that?
Because I think at the end of the day, a younger, less savvy to the ways of the world broad.
Somebody a little bit more naive.
You said it, not me.
You could have.
Do you know what I mean?
Good at making me say things.
Yeah, I just thought that you were too.
I think that they're great for each other, so I don't knock it. I can't hate.
And things only got worse from there. In another interview, this time with The Guardian, Blu was asked directly about Beyoncé, and instead of cooling the rumors, she threw gasoline on the fire. She said, and I quote, "I'm an adult. She's younger and acting a little immaturely if she's going by hearsay. Even if she's doing it for publicity, she should know the risks. She's a beautiful girl, but if you've got problems, talk to your man. Don't come for the woman. That's not how you handle things." Oof. At that point, it was clear. This wasn't some industry drama. This was real tension. There was something deep going on between Blu and Beyoncé. And now, knowing what we know, that Jay allegedly had a child with Blu and Beyoncé might have forced him to cover it up, suddenly all of that makes sense. No wonder Blu's been holding on to resentment for years. And it's not just Blu. Beyoncé's been accused of doing this before. Word is she's made Jay disavow all alleged outside children. Publicly, it's all about their kids. Only their kids. No one else gets to be part of the Carter legacy. Even after Jay admitted to cheating, Beyoncé reportedly made it clear, no other kids. Period. Y'all remember Rymir Satterthwaite? The man who's been fighting for over a decade to be recognized as Jay-Z's son? He and his legal guardian claim Beyoncé was working behind the scenes to shut the whole thing down. Investigative journalist Liz Crokin said the situation went way beyond gossip. Rymir and his guardian said they were threatened, legally and personally. Rymir even said he was shot at. That's how serious it got. And Beyoncé? She allegedly helped Jay cover it all up. Liz even hinted that Jay and Bey might have mocked Rymir in their music, turning his pain into punchlines. Things got so bad that Liz finally sat down with Rymir and his guardian to get the full truth.
He needs to stop, make this case go away. The Beyonce thing came when a friend of mine who knew her, somebody in her camp, and she said something supposedly, this is all hearsay, about regarding saying Rymir needs to go away little boy, something to that effect. There was something out there with this song they made. And then next thing I know, somebody was at my property.
She said multiple insiders told her Beyoncé was the one arguing with Jay, demanding he not take a DNA test.
Weeks later, somebody did. From that time, we heard it.
Right.
That whole case crazy.
Right. I mean, it could be a coincidence, may not be. Who knows? But people were saying that she's a big part of the problem for him, and some of the things that she was doing, a woman would not. She would have some sort of role in what her husband does. And if she was secure with herself and with the situation, not saying you gotta like it, she would help her husband handle it.
Right.
Because this is a black community. This is a black man. Rymir is black.
And then the plot twist of all plot twists, a judge finally ordered Jay to take the DNA test after all these years. And suddenly, Rymir dropped the case. No explanation. The rumors? Beyoncé pulled strings. Again, maybe legal threats, maybe money, maybe worse. But whatever she did, it worked. The truth about Jay-Z's son, still buried. And it's not just Rymir. Another woman, Letitia Mercer, came forward claiming she's Jay's daughter too. And she didn't just hint, she went public. She said she had DNA proof. She said her mother tried to reach out. She said Jay-Z is her dad and everyone in her city knew it. But then, just like that, silence. Her social media scrubbed, her posts deleted, gone. Coincidence? Yeah, right. Friends say she was paid off. Quiet money. And Beyoncé? She doesn't play when it comes to protecting that perfect Carter image. Now let's circle back to Blu Cantrell, because sis really got the short end of the stick. Unlike Letitia Mercer, who allegedly got her hush money and dipped, Blu didn't get paid off. She didn't get protected. She didn't get a nice quiet exit. She got erased from the charts, from the spotlight, from everything. And now, looking back, it makes so much sense. Blu was riding high, a viral hit, a hot new name in R&B, collaborations with huge names. Then all of a sudden, gone, vanished. People used to think she just fell off. You know, the usual one-hit wonder story. But now, oh no, people are saying she was shut down on purpose. By who? Queen Bey. Rumor is once Beyoncé found out about the love child, she didn't just get mad. She got strategic. She made sure Blu's access to the industry was cut off. That producers, execs, even media stopped answering her calls. She didn't just lose relevance, she got blacklisted. And it worked. Because even though she had the talent, even though fans loved her, Blu couldn't get another hit. She couldn't get back on the charts. And just like that, she was silenced. And for what? Because she and Jay-Z had something before Beyoncé? Because she allegedly had his child? Now here's the kicker. Fans started connecting the dots way before this. They remembered how close Blu and Jay were in the late 90s, how much chemistry they had, how natural they looked together. And now with all this coming to light, everyone's realizing this wasn't just some side chick story. This was a full-blown love triangle, one that turned ugly once Beyoncé got involved. Let's not forget, Beyoncé is known for being fierce when it comes to her image. She protects her name, her marriage, her family with an iron grip. And if that meant wiping out Blu's entire career, so be it. But here's the thing, you can't erase the truth forever. And now now people are starting to talk. Blu might have been quiet for a long time, but fans never stopped wondering. They never stopped digging. And what they found is messy. Because it's not just Blu, it's not just Rymir, it's not just Letitia. There's a pattern here, one that screams cover up. Think about it. Every time someone claims to be Jay-Z's child, the same thing happens. At first, there's buzz, then interviews, then receipts, then silence. Either they disappear or they suddenly stop talking. Posts get deleted, lawsuits get dropped, socials go dark. Why? Because someone powerful is pulling the strings, and in every single case that someone is allegedly Beyoncé. She's not just trying to protect her image, she's trying to control the entire narrative. And that includes making sure the Carter legacy only includes her kids. No outside babies, no baby mamas, no scandal. It's clean, polished, untouchable. But the truth? The truth is messy. And now it's bubbling to the surface. And you know what's even crazier? People are saying this whole situation with Blu might have been the original scandal. The first one Beyoncé had to cover up. The one that taught her exactly what to do with future threats to her empire. She saw what could happen if the truth got out, and she handled it. Swiftly, coldly, permanently. Blu was the blueprint. She didn't play along. She didn't stay silent fast enough, and she didn't get paid off like the others. So she got removed, completely. Now the real question is, if Blu did have Jay-Z's child, will we ever know the truth? Will that child ever come forward? And more importantly, will Beyoncé ever let that happen? Because right now, every time someone tries, the same thing happens. They vanish. Rymir's case was active for over 15 years. He begged for a DNA test, finally got a judge to order one. And right when Jay was about to be tested, boom, case dismissed, no reason given, no statement, just dropped. And who was behind it? According to insiders, Beyoncé. Letitia tried too. She even said she had DNA proof. But suddenly she went silent, deleted everything, gone. Just like that. It's like clockwork. But Blu? Blu didn't play their game. She never disappeared voluntarily. She kept dropping hints. She kept giving interviews. She even threw shade at Beyoncé directly. So Beyoncé allegedly took matters into her own hands. No mercy, no comeback, no redemption arc, just career death. And now fans are looking back and wondering, was Blu the first to get silenced? And if she was, who else followed? Because every time one of Jay-Z's alleged children speaks up, the same thing happens. They're heard, then buried. It's not coincidence, it's control. And it's time we start asking the real questions. Who else got paid off? Who else got threatened? Who else had their lives turned upside down just to keep the Carter brand squeaky clean? And most importantly, how far is Beyoncé willing to go to protect that empire? Because if Blu really did have Jay-Z's child, and Beyoncé really did cover it up, then this wasn't just a celebrity scandal, it was a full-blown cover-up, with careers destroyed, lives altered, and kids growing up in the shadows. Also, the world could keep seeing the perfect image of Bey and Jay. And let's be honest, that image, it's cracking.